in minutes. They're going a little bit bigger with Garrett Jackson, the transfer from USC a couple of years ago. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays of Creighton, another change in their starting lineup. Isaiah Zierden, they're one of the best guards, one of the top scorers on the team. He gets to start today. One of the top scorers on the team. He gets to start today. Devin Brooks banged up with a hip pointer. Now we're underway here in Omaha, and the Blue Jays control the tip. It is a packed house here at Century League Center. This is a fantastic home court advantage for the Blue Jays.
The lineup change with Devin Brooks with the hip pointer, like you illustrated. There's Zierden with the ball, kicking it to Dingman.
We'll see plenty of three-point tries for Creighton. They take the most threes by plenty of any team in the Big East.
Emmett Narr, their point guard, out of the starting lineup. He actually leads them in minutes at 37 minutes a game. So it's going to be on Aaron Bright and Kerry Carter to shoulder the ball handling load early on.
Out there to Waldo, short corner. These two teams met 2 years ago. The Blue Jays never led in that game. Under 10 to shoot. 5 to shoot now. Drive and a kick out. And a travel. Shoot up a lot of time without a shot try, and it goes to the Blue Jays.
Great defensive possession. That's what you want to see. A team that's locked in, paying attention to scouting report. The double team was on time. Put him in the trap. I'm talking about Brad Waldo. And then able to force a turnover late in the clock. Good start defensively.
Chapman brings it across. The lone returning starter for Creighton. Loose ball and a jump ball. This will go to the Gales.
You just never want to have these unforced turnovers early in a game. Just a little bit careless and casual with the basketball. It leads to a turnover. But keep your eye on 0-0 Brad Waldo. He's on that left block. They look to get him a post touch numerous times of possession. And what's cool about him, Aaron, is that he's a willing passer to kick it out.
Carter high with the left hand. Not close. Got a nice board there underneath by Hegner. Blue Jays quickly in transition, bringing it across.
Mismatch here with Zierden and Waldo.
Chapman directed some traffic baseline. Hegner lets it fly.
It's a great sign. Stretch 4. Toby Hegner hasn't played well. Been 0 from 3 in his last 2 games. Huge to get him to knock down some shots for Creighton.
Trying to get it down low to Waldo, but a foul.
That's okay. Going to be a three-headed monster to slow down Waldo, but you take a look at Toby Hegner giving up an extra pass from Zierden. Hegner knocks it down. So we talk about big guys for St. Mary's here being more paint-oriented, and Creighton's are more perimeter-oriented.
Simmons, the University of Washington transfer, trying to go to the rim. This time other end, stripped. And to St. Mary's, pretty quick tempo back and forth so far.
I think it's important for Creighton to establish that tempo, because when you play fast in broken floor situations, that can negate size in Brad Waldo. But when the game is just a slow, methodical pace, walking it down, that's when Waldo can really put his fingerprints on this game. So look for Creighton to really push the pace.
Now we talked about Emmett Narr leading the team in minutes. Just checking in now. He takes the spot of Garrett Jackson and Will Artino on the other side.
38 assists, 17 turnovers. He is looking to share the sugar, get everybody else involved.
Now some tremendous guards for St. Mary's. Waldo can't get it to drop in. Strong rebound by Artino. And here's Chapman. Zierden penetrating the floater. And it goes the other way.
You see the footsteps and presence of Brad Waldo impacting Zierden, rushing the finish at the basket. Watch him here as he doesn't want to go into the body of Brad Waldo. Tries a little scoop shot, doesn't finish it. So those are the types of plays that don't go in the stat sheet as a block, but it impact the shot at the rim.
Big influencer. There's Carter up top, trying to find a seam, slicing to the hole. Waldo. Now, Waldo's had a couple of touches down low, hasn't been able to put one through yet.
And I think Kerry Carter, who missed the layup there, could have a big impact on this game, because when he penetrates to the basket, that creates rotation rebounding opportunities for Waldo, who just didn't tip it in, but it's important for Kerry Carter to attack the rim.
You mentioned earlier, last time these two teams met 2 years ago in the Bay Area, St. Mary's home floor. Creighton never led once. They have the early 3-0 lead here today.
And the previous matchup 2 years ago in Moraga, California, that game was all about Matthew Dellavedova. That guy controlled the entire game with the Cleveland Cavaliers now. Such a big Australian influence on the St. Mary's basketball team. There's Randy Bennett, able to talk to him before the game. I think sometimes you got to ask yourself, what gives you the best chance to get the best players possible? And you got to think outside the box, and in his case, outside the country. And he's got a factory now built and bringing Australians to St. Mary's.
It really does. Randy Bennett now in his 14th season, twice the West Coast Conference Coach of the Year, school's all-time wins leader. He had some interesting comments today saying when he was driving to the arena, he said in so many words to himself, we got to get big like Creighton has. You see the explosion for this program in recent years.
And St. Mary's has the game as a very successful program, but it takes a full commitment from the university across the board to really elevate your basketball program.
Turnovers, Sheridan brings it across. A three-try again, too strong.
And Creighton will not be bashful. The light stays green for the shooters. Early in possessions, Hagner lining one up.
Carter just throws it away.
Down the floor, pack it in, beat you 60-57. At Creighton, last year, #1 in three-point percentage, #1 in assist to turnover ratio, #1 in three-point field goals made. So recognizing the style change is important when talking about Greg McDermott.
Now, there's no doubt about it. We've seen a lot of turnovers so far. First 14 possessions in this game today. We have seen 6 turnovers as that foul goes to the senior from Bellevue, Washington in the Seattle area, Aaron Bright, graduate transfer from Stanford.
A handful of transfers for St. Mary's. You got Garrett Jackson out of USC, number 22, number 30, Desmond Simmons, a Washington transfer. Aaron Bright, you referenced him, a Stanford transfer.
To the rim, up and under, reverse layup try, no good. The hard take there by Dingman. One of 3 Australians out of team. Pino now on the floor looking down low. They've done a nice job. Creighton has boxing off Waldo and another turnover.
Martino is really good at selling contact. A little bit of Hollywood action. But he kind of snapped that head back as Waldo's trying to fight for position on his favorite spot on the floor, that left block. And now we have seen all 3 big guys, Aaron, in just about 5 minutes of action. You saw Hansen start the game, Martino gets some minutes, and now big Jeffrey Grossell in the basketball game, 7-footer.
That's a 3-man rotation to try to take care and negate Waldo. Brooks now on the floor. Mentioned he did not get the start today, dealing with a hip corner. Barely played it all in the second half in that 2-overtime win, most recently against South Dakota, the Blue Jays' last game.
He's an important piece to what Creighton does.
Chapman, fade away, gets a good run.
Chapman has really improved with his ability to finish at the rim. He is cat quick, but he didn't do a very good job of finishing when he got to the basket. This year, doing a much better job.
Waldo battling down low, didn't have a great angle. Fresh 35 for the Gales. Looking for their first points. Won't find it quite yet. Another fresh shot clock. Pino with a good rebound that time. Waldo doubled up top. 3-point try. Carter nails it.
Can't do that. If you're going to come double team, Waldo cannot split the double team because then you're in big trouble. You see the different looks they're sending at Waldo, double teams from the baseline and from the top of the key. But if you're going to double him, you can't let him out of the double team. Great play from Waldo and a knockdown jumper from Carter.
Meanwhile, Hagner goes to the bench. Ricky Krecklow on the floor for the first time. Most recently played for Mike Montgomery in Berkeley with the Cal Bears.
His 3rd program in 5 years. Began his career at Missouri and at Cal, now at Creighton.
Brooks running into a little bit of a roadblock there. Back up top, swing it around to Chapman. Krecklow off the screen, trying to penetrate, tucks it, high floater, not close.
Interesting, St. Mary's willing to switch some ball screens to put Brad Waldo on the perimeter guarding some guards. Great pass.
Carter wants another three, just short. And he gets his own rebound. Nice pass by Waldo with a put-through. But his first bucket of the day.
You double-team the post. The first order of business is for someone to rotate to take away the basket. Cano with the beautiful dive and a great pass from Brad Waldo. I love the way the St. Mary's big men pass the ball.
Chapman fadeaway two, drains it.
Just controls the game. Great pace. Understands when I need to set the table, when I need to score. Well, they want to feed the ball to Brad Waldo. Take a look at it as Waldo loves the left block. Ball comes in. Double team from the baseline. Talking about having to rotate to take away the dive man to the basket. That's what's going to happen every time there's a double team. The opposite forward is going to dive to the rim. You have to take away that pass first and foremost. Creighton didn't do it and resulted in a bucket. But that's where Brad Waldo is dangerous. Not only is he a good scorer, but he's a good passer out of the double team.
And you see there, Waldo gets a spell. That's something that Randy Bennett said he's really trying to be conscious of. Trying to get him breathers when he can, which isn't often. The screen for Bright. Pass cross court to Carter. Simmons underneath. Simmons second try. We've seen a lot of second chance efforts for the Gales so far. They haven't exactly been able to convert many times, though, Nick.
St. Mary's plus 11 on the board. Chapman lines one up, knocks one down. But rebounding is going to be at a premium for the Blue Jays.
Already 5 offensive rebounds for St. Mary's. 5 second chance points.
A different team when Waldo's not on the floor. Much more perimeter-oriented. Another foul from Cano.
Off. Chapman trying to find a seam. Instead, cross court. Kreklow gets it stripped away. Here comes Nar. One-on-one. Nar, left hand. And he'll go to the line. First foul on Brooks.
And could Emmett Nar be the next stud Australian point guard to come through St. Mary's? Had Patty Mills, Matthew Dellavedova. Look at him getting his hands in the passing lane. Doing a nice job of attacking Brooks. That had to freeze Brooks a little bit. Instead of going straight at the basket, he went at him a little bit. That froze him and got him to the line. Emmett Nar, remember the Australian junior national team? And what's so good about Randy Bennett, what he's doing in Australia, is he's got a bunch of success stories to go sell. Going there, hey, heard of Patty Mills, heard of Matthew Dellavedova. They came through here, now they're in the NBA.
2 misses from an 82% free throw shooter in Nar. Setting up another 3 from Chapman. Chapman starting to feel the stroke a little bit here. Overturning starter for the Blue Jays. That's 10 straight for Chapman.
Good double team.
Deep three, buried by Carter.
What I like about Brad Waldo, though, sees the double team, takes a dribble out of it, immediately looks to the opposite side of the floor. High basketball IQ play.
Beating down low, Hansen.
One of the more underrated things that you have to do in basketball is against good big guys that are good scorers, you got to make them defend. Zach Hansen buried Brad Waldo in the interior and gets the basket.
The feed, short corner. Now the kickback to Bright. Then he had another. Carter is on fire. Don't leave him open.
It's to pick your poison. Brad Waldo's a beast in the interior, but this team does shoot 39% from the three-point line as a group.
Three on the other end, crack low, too strong. Simmons, the easy rebound. Three guards on the floor for St. Mary's. Running out of space. Another three from Carter, and he buries another.
Turn on the game, and I were to tell you Brad Waldo's got 0 points. You go, oh, he's got no impact on this game right now. Absolutely he does, because he's attracting so much attention into the paint. He's opening things up for Kerry Carter.
Loose ball. Carter the other way. No numbers. He'll back it out. Dar wants to feed it low. Instead takes a baseline on a block. Well, tomorrow, college basketball returns with a Big East triple header, including the Temple Owls battling the 7th-ranked Villanova Wildcats. Coverage begins at noon Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1 and, of course, streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
The start for the Big East. 2nd-ranked RPI out of conferences.
Too easy right there. Carter from a little shorter distance this time. A transition, wide open three look. And it's buried there by Dingman.
Dingman's a guy that's been in a massive shooting slump last year. But it's 5 of 10 to start this year. That's a great sign for Greg McDermott, because Dingman's more of a defensive stopper, so any offense you get from him is a bonus.
And some short possessions on either end lately. Bright, three transition. What a pace we've got so far in this first half. Brooks pulls it up, rattles out. Shot clock hits 35 seconds, right?
That's not going to be a factor. I can guarantee you there are going to be shot clock violations when Creighton's got the basketball.
Waldo backing down. Good head fake by Nar. The floater, the teardrop. Here comes Brooks. Skip pass. Zierden shot, but short. We've had spurts of both teams being red hot. We've had spurts of both teams being ice cold. Right, foul on the try. Down Brad Waldo. And so far, so good, at least in terms of the point production.
Yeah, but again, Brad Waldo having a big impact on this game because his presence attracts so much attention that it creates opportunities for three-point jump shots where Kerry Carter has taken advantage. It creates closeout opportunities for guys like Aaron Bright and Emmett Nar to get in the paint and knock down jumpers. So although he hasn't scored, Brad Waldo has greatly impacted this game.
St. Mary's gets their first free throw on the day, 1 for 4 to start things.
It should be noted, James Milliken, still with a shooting shirt on for the Creighton bench, junior college guard, who had a career-high 23 points in the last game. He was late for shoot-around this morning, so that's why he's probably not seeing too much playing time. Got to make sure you take care of your business and be accountable.
Yeah, we saw last game he can really be an explosive scorer. And that's something that Creighton's really looking for, that third guy to more consistently step up in terms of point production.
And it's going to have to be a little bit by committee. Right now, 5 different Blue Jays have led Creighton scoring through 10 games. So you never know where it's going to come from, but the good news is that it's coming from somewhere.
3 to shoot. Chapman heaves it up. And the offensive rebound, no. They eventually get it. Chapman baseline. Trying to find some space with fadeaway, and he can't miss today. Tough shot after tough shot, and Chapman just buried them all.
Great things happen when you 2-foot jump shot in the paint. Under control, second shot fake, find the fadeaway and nail it.
Nar turns it over. Zierden, one-on-one. Teardrop good.
Settles everybody down. You play off of him.
Three-pointer no good. Waldo underneath, gets it stripped, and a foul on the floor. And Greg McDermott not pleased with that call.
I think the biggest thing is you never want to hear a late whistle. And this whistle came a little bit late. But what a load Waldo is. Just wedging Hagner underneath the basket. Whistle came about a touch late, and I think that's what coaches don't like to see. If it's a foul, you better blow the whistle right away.
It goes on Toby Hagner, his second. St. Mary's now the bonus.
No double team.
Waldo one-on-one. Little sky hook. Perfect touch.
That is his shot. No double team trying to vary what Creighton does defensively, and Waldo immediately makes him pay. But see the pace? Check for the double team, no double team, and then attack.
Well, if you're the Blue Jays, if it took about 15 minutes for Waldo to get his first bucket, you'd be thrilled, and that's exactly what happened. His first points today.
I know Greg McDermott wanted to switch up defenses on Brad Waldo, but right now you've been hurt from beyond the arc on double team, and maybe you're going to make him make some shots.
Nice pass underneath, and a foul on the shot. That goes against Hermanson. Artino, a good take.
You've got to put Brad Waldo in ball screen situations. Look at Waldo away from the basket. He can't control the paint, protect the rim. Great pass from Austin Chapman or Artino now at the free throw line. You got to involve Brad Waldo in a variety of ball screens to run him around and wear him down. That'll make him less effective offensively.
First time to the line for the Blue Jays today.
Will Artino, guy who started at the start of the season, but now coming off the bench. That's exactly what happened last year. Points per game. I'm a huge fan of bringing a scorer off the bench to change the complexion. When you put Zierden in the starting lineup, you don't got a great scorer off the bench.
Last two games, the Blue Jays have combined for 84 points off the bench as a turnover. Gives it back to Creighton.
And it's so nice. It's such a good luxury for Greg McDermott to be able to have two post players off the bench to go to keep fresh legs on Brad Waldo. Continuing to run him in transition, get a fresh body on him defensively. Because you can get into a rhythm on how a certain guy's guarding you. Okay, Grissel guards me this way. Artino guards me this way. When you vary it up, that can keep an offensive player a little bit off kilter.
Waldo only 2 points. Nice screen for Creighton. Pick and roll and a turnover.
Right idea, just a poor pass. See the same thing that happened on Artino's roll and got fouled and went to the free throw line. Ricky Krecklo tried to do that right there, but Grissel just wasn't looking. Bad pass.
Hermanson trying to get it low and another turnover. Well, the pace of this game that you think really favors Creighton.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. There's a deeper team, much better in the broken floor.
Krecklo puts up a three. Offensive rebound. Swatted away. Hermanson gets contact. What a pace we've got going on.
Basket situation with St. Mary's. And then Austin Chapman has really put his foot on the gas to score the ball, which is good to see for Creighton. So important to finish half strong for both groups here. An important 3:40 left.
You talk about an entertaining first half between these two teams.
Two incredibly well-coached teams. Randy Bennett, terrific. Greg McDermott, terrific.
Although backing down, Desmond Simmons doubled up. Nice head fake, Carter. And a touch. That's his 5th three-pointer. Right as we said, they cool down a little bit. He gets one to roll in. St. Mary's within a point.
St. Mary's ability to spray the basketball out when they get a piece of the paint has been outstanding.
Chapman, tough, two. He has missed one time today. That's it. He's got 14.
When you set a lot of ball screens, Aaron, you got to have a guard that is willing to get downhill and be aggressive in pick and roll situations. And Austin Chapman has really done a nice job of that to put a threat in St. Mary's mind.
Waldo with that hook again. And a foul. That's the second now on Hansen.
One of the most important things for post players is pace. Look at the pace for Brad Waldo. Under control, surveying the situation, and then getting where he wants to get to. Over his left shoulder, right-hand jump hook. Don't have to be in a hurry. Go at your speed.
Waldo averaging a double-double this year. Second leading scorer in the conference, West Coast Conference. And this style of player, Nick, is someone that Creighton will see later this season in the Big East.
Yeah, this is a great dress rehearsal, for lack of a better term, to go against Xavier's Matt Stainbrook and Georgetown's Joshua Smith, both big, pure, old-school throwback centers.
You just don't see that much anymore.
No, I know. The game's become so perimeter-oriented that a big man that should get a bunch of touches is unconventional. And I know that was something Greg McDermott was worried about.
Chapman fade away. Once again, St. Mary's going with 3 guards, plus Simmons and Waldo. Waldo finds the baseline. Not a good angle and a turnover.
He's a much different player when you force him baseline over his right shoulder. You saw him get a basket a little while ago and get fouled before letting him go to the middle there. A little bit out of control. Everybody's got pet plays, comfort zones, and you got to find a way to make guys do things they don't want to do. And there, nice job defensively for the Blue Jays.
Creighton by 2. 2 minutes left, first half. Ten to shoot for the Blue Jays. 5 to shoot. Chapman slicing another fadeaway try. He's missed 2 straight. Which for him is saying something today. 14 points. Only Carter has more on either side. Carter with the Gales.
No Waldo on the floor, so much more perimeter oriented. Look for a dribble drive.
Approaching the 1-minute mark. Ice screen for Nar, looking for the roll. 5 to shoot, Bright, slicing, hang time, and what a floater that was. Quickly the other way. Evan Brooks in traffic. Nice pass! Easy 2. Artino, the flush.
You see his importance to be able to manufacture shots for others. Hopefully that hit pointer hangs in there for Devin Brooks.
Nar, 3 tries. Battle underneath. Simmons fouled. Won't fall. They'll go to the line.
Here's what I love about Aaron Bright. Watch him jump into the contact of Artino. Never want to fade away from a shot blocker because that allows their length to come into play. You take it right at the chin, able to at least draw a foul at the very least. I don't know if he works on that high of a floater, but that was pretty. But boy, has St. Mary's impacted this game on the offensive glass. 8 offensive rebounds in the first half for St. Mary's.
Simmons, a graduate transfer for the Pac-12, University of Washington, was recruited by St. Mary's out of high school. Made double-digit starts during his time with the Huskies, but really was a guy more off the bench.
And you see that all the time. We're in the era of transfers in college basketball that so many times the teams that you were being recruited by in high school is where you like to maybe look for your second spot to end up. That's where Krecklow was recruited really hard by Creighton out of high school, so when it came time to transfer to end his career, it's a good place to look. And the same sort of situation for Desmond Simmons.
Now, era of transfers is right.
It's an understatement. All right, last possession of the half here for the Blue Jays.
Almost identical time on the game clock and the shot clock by fractions of a second.
I like that Terry Carter makes Chapman have to work a little bit, have to break the 5 count.
Chapman has 14 of the Blue Jays' 27 points. Chapman fadeaway 3. Here comes Nar, has to heat it up. Looked like that one might have had a chance.
Better job of trying to get other guys the ball and get them involved.
Chapman ranking in the top 10 all-time in school history in assists. Only the number 7 spot, but it's been his offense which has really buoyed the Blue Jays so far in the first half. Here's Chapman slicing and a foul.
Austin Chapman has played 84 minutes of basketball this week against Nebraska and South Dakota, but clearly legs not an issue. Look at the explosion. And Zierden's in the corner, in that right corner, so there was all that real estate for Austin Chapman to attack. Shooter space in the floor, and Austin Chapman able to get to the free throw line.
That's a second foul on Carter. Chapman on the season about 86% from the stripe. Randy Bennett, school's all-time wins leader. And Nick, a big substitution here. James Milliken on the floor for the first time.
Coming off a career-high 23 points against South Dakota in a double overtime win, 91-88. Had 8 points in the second overtime. See if he can get involved in the second half. He was late for shoot-around this morning. Didn't play in the first 20 minutes. We'll see how his rhythm and his confidence is after being punished a little bit, and rightfully so.
A little discipline there from Greg McDermott.
I like that. That shows that Greg McDermott's serious about it. That sends a message to everybody. Hey, I don't care if you just came off a career-high 23 points. If you don't do what you need to do, you will pay a price.
No, there's no question. Wright, the Stanford transfer, pulls up from the elbow. And a big rebound ripped down by Hansen. The spin, not the right touch though. Carter trying to go baseline, backs it out. Backdoor, Carter, a seam, and a bucket. That's a big take.
Brad Waldo is such a good passer. Look at the back door. Look at the little slide step through the seam. Maybe got away with a little bit of a walk. But another good jump stop. You saw in the halftime breakdown, Austin Chapman with the nice 2-foot jump stop there. Kerry Carter, almost like a running back on a jump cut. Seeing the seam, jumping through it. Great vision from Carter on the cut.
Can't make it a three-point play. Hansen now has 3 fouls. We talked about the 3-man rotation. Artino, Hansen, and Grossell to try to stop Waldo.
Still going to be all about Brad Waldo for the rest of this game. On both sides.
Cleared off the screen. Nice dish from Hegler, but it's knocked away. And transition right. Crosses over. Simmons, straightaway 3. How about those stops by Chapman pulling down a rebound. And Carter can't believe he gets whistled for his 3rd foul. I mentioned Hansen with 3 fouls. He goes to the bench, replaced by Artino. Trying to create to Zierden. 10 to shoot. Nice pass to Artino. Kicks it out. A lot of ball movement. And it stays with the Blue Jays with 3 to shoot.
That's demoralizing. You play great defense, have the turnover, then let it slip out of your hands. That was terrific defensive intensity from St. Mary's. Now 3 on the shot clock. They have to get in and attack right away.
Carr back on the floor, takes the spot of Jackson. Sheridan, deep 3, and he buries it.
What a great set from Greg McDermott on a sideline out of bounds. Little elevator screens, and Zierden lines it up, knocks it down.
Sheridan, one of the top scorers, but a little quiet offensively today. Got the start for Brooks, either with the hip pointer. We've seen Waldo Nick with some poor angles underneath. Another three. Waldo in transition, and good hustle. Martino with a long reach.
Well, with 3 seconds on the shot clock on a sideline or bounce play, the action has to manufacture the shot. You don't have much time. Great elevator screen. Action look for Zierden to go through the elevator doors and buries it. Great coaching from Greg McDermott on the spot right there. Great execution as well.
Out of the hole. A kick out, the sling. Bright, a three. Martino with the rebound.
They're going under ball screens. Chapman lines it up.
Right the other way.
Good positioning from Hagner, backing down to alleviate the post-entry pass.
And really getting Waldo out of position there.
Yeah. See how the guy who's guarding the passer, though, was backing off, trying to make the pass a little bit more difficult. Now Chapman edges out.
With 10 to shoot. Nahr going around the globe there. And it stays with the Gales.
Now, same sort of situation. 5 on the shot clock. You can get it and put it down a few times, but look for this action to come in a hurry with a touch from Brad Waldo or a handoff of some kind.
Up high. Now, Waldo did a nice job keeping the ball up. He hasn't had many makes so far today underneath. There's Milliken.
It's hard to sit for 20 minutes and then come in cold, no rhythm of the game. There's a turnover from Milliken. It's hard to do that. Have no feel for the flow.
Especially this game, this tempo.
No doubt. Monsters, you kind of got 12 to 14 fouls to work with.
Very good point.
None of the 3 guys are that important to Creighton offensively.
Right away at 3. Got a good look. Martino, another rebound. Here comes Brooks, the lob. And a turnover.
That'll make Greg McDermott go to his knees. Devin Brooks is so dynamic with the ball, but you got to take some of the bad with the good, and that was the bad. 35 assists, 22 turnovers on the season. Sometimes decision-making is what holds Brooks back.
Right, looking low for Waldo. In front of there. Right through Pino's hands. Well, this has been a game of turnovers, there's no question.
And sloppy on both sides, which is uncharacteristic. Both teams traditionally good ball handling, smart teams. Both groups have coughed it up numerous times.
Is that a product of the pace of this game?
A little bit. I think a lot of it is St. Mary's has done a nice job of making Creighton a roster of drivers right now instead of roster of passers, and that can disrupt some things. And then the different looks that Creighton has thrown at Brad Waldo has impacted some of the decision-making.
Quick pass to Brooks. Hank time the foul.
We talked earlier about Aaron Bright's ability to draw the foul and go right at the shot blocker. How about Devin Brooks, like a heat-seeking missile going right at Brad Waldo? Looking for contact. There are times, Aaron, when you're a guard driving to the basket, you got to make sure you at the very least get a foul and get to the free throw line. Don't think about Michael Jordan in 1993 and doing all the contorting and reverse layups. Make sure there's contact so you can get to the line and get 2.
Brooks bags the first. One of 5 seniors on this Creighton team. Only played 12 minutes in the last game for the Blue Jays against South Dakota. As you mentioned, played only a handful of seconds in the second half. Dealt with a hip pointer that kept him from starting today. Carter, a little teardrop. Loose ball. And it's controlled there by Hagner. Sheridan from the corner. He's knocked down all 5 3-pointers for St. Mary's today.
The defense has been really good to start the second half, holding St. Mary's to 1 for 8 from the floor and just 2 points. No double team, going with a guard dig. Now here comes the double late.
Nice put back there. It counts. And to the line, too.
But you see, Hagner has to come late with the double team, and he was guarding Pinot, number 11, who's on the weak side for the rebound. So again, Waldo doesn't score, but he impacts the play. So here comes Hagner. Someone's got to rotate down and get inside. Brooks tries to a little bit late. Pinot with the tip in. So big men can affect the play all the time.
That's the third foul on Hagner. Both he and Hansen with 3. High screen there. Trying to get Chapman free. 10 to shoot. Artino backing down. Carter strips it loose, and he comes up with it.
Great post dig from Carter.
Bright pull-up 3 for the wing.
Big swing as St. Mary's is kind of on the ropes a little bit. Turnover leads to a 3.
Now with this crowd, nearly 17,000 strong here in Omaha today. If you're St. Mary's, you want to keep it at least somewhat close.
Well, and Aaron, this is St. Mary's first road game. And being on the road is a lot different. Got to weather the storm, deal with the crowd.
Fade away. Tough 2, rattles out. Pinot, corner 3. Almost found the roll. It will stay with St. Mary's. Well, time now to take a look at the AT&T Impossible Feats, the longest game in Big East history. Back in 2009, the Big East Tournament quarterfinal. Nick, UConn and Syracuse, 6 overtimes. The game went over 3 hours and 45 minutes. It didn't wrap up until about 1:40 in the morning. We thought this game was a little bit of an exhausting pace. 6 OTs.
We'll take down a handful of Gatorades after that one. What a run from St. Mary's to crawl back into this thing. After being on the ropes.
7-0 run brings the Gales within a point. And a foul there after a nifty spin by Chapman.
It's really hard to guard a shifty guard on the perimeter when ball screens are coming and they're willing to refuse the ball screen, not use the ball screen and go baseline away from him. Chapman did there and drew a foul. He's just been really good this afternoon. Chapman 16 points, 2 rebounds, 6 of 12 from the floor.
A little surprising, just 1 assist. Didn't have any in the first half.
Chapman, the lone returning starter from last year.
Artino gets it knocked away. Nice defense by Waldo. Right, finds the lane, draws contact, no foul. Blue Jays pushing it across. That's Dingman, cross court. That's screen for Chapman, crossover. Corner 3, Dingman, too short.
It'll be a pick, roll, and replace. Pinot rolling to the top and Waldo going down low.
Entry pass contested, but it results in a foul.
By running every single possession. And you got a home winning streak on the line here as St. Mary's has battled back.
It's been a long time since the Blue Jays have lost here on their home court. You got to go back to February 9th, 2013. Illinois State. The Redbirds of all people. Buried there, Pinot. And just like that, St. Mary's leads it by 2. First time they've led since the 8:44 mark in the first half. Nice head fake there, Chapman. Into the lane. Pretty dish. Rossell, a pretty good look.
That is just spoon feeding a guy a layup and he misses it. Great play from Chapman.
And the Gales add to this 2-point lead on this possession. Remember, Waldo just 3 points. His previous season low, 16. That's happened twice. First 2 games of the year. He's coming off a career high, 29. There's Waldo baseline. continues not to get great angles, great looks underneath. He gets pinned in so much, doesn't he, Nick?
And only 2 free throw attempts for Brad Waldo. So Creighton doing a good job of playing defense without fouling.
Creighton scoreless the last 4 minutes. This has been a little bit of a game of runs at times for both sides. Kingman into the lane. Pops it up. 2-on-2. Make it 3-on-2 now. Carter's skip pass. Right through his hands, but it falls to Bright. Contact and the bucket by Bright.
Aaron Bright was the 2012 NIT's most outstanding player on Stanford. So a very, very capable player that's played in big games, in big moments.
That's the second time we have seen him not shy from contact underneath. 12-0 St. Mary's run. Milliken in the corner, under 10 to shoot. Milliken baseline. There's Chapman for a corner 3. And it's just not falling lately for the Blue Jays. Are pushing it. Wants the high screen. Finds the baseline. Pass. Lob. And strip. But right there, Waldo gets a loose ball and he'll go to the line. Well, you thought that Creighton did exactly what they wanted to do, but Waldo's in the right place at the right time.
St. Mary's has won almost every single 50-50 loose ball. When there's been an opportunity to snatch the basketball here, as Dingman's going to knock it away, Zierden has a chance to get it, but Waldo gets it back, and that was at the free throw line.
Well, the line has been a struggle today. Now 5 for 11. And a host of substitutions.
I think this is a good one. Austin Chapman is going to take a seat. He looks tired to me. He's played 84 minutes in the past 2 games. Played 47 minutes on Tuesday night. That's a lot to ask of one guy. He's asked to score, set up his teammates, guard, lead.
Brecklow, fresh off the bench, gets it.
Look for Devin Brooks to be the catalyst with this lineup now. Number 5 with the rock right now.
Milliken from the corner. Under 9 minutes to play. Bright, teardrop, front iron. Brecklow again. Blue Jays have missed on their last 6 field goal tries. Brooks driving and gets a foul.
In the first month of the season.
Hermanson takes the spot of Carter.
This has to be Devin Brooks' time. He has to make things happen.
Zierden, 3 for the wing. He's had some big shots today. Blue Jays within a pair. And these about 17,000 strong. Everybody up on their feet now. They're inside CenturyLink Center. Entry pass down low and a foul.
Oh, he's going to get. Hopefully he got some electrolytes in him and he's back at it.
Under 8 minutes to play. Remember, Creighton had the lead by 8. They went on an 8-0 run that tied their largest lead of the day. Yeah. The Gales will come storming back. Bright pulls up. Tough 2, deep straight away, and he buries it.
Well, that play's made because you don't want to hedge and get away from Brad Waldo. And it gives Bright an easy jumper.
Chapman in the mix right there. Well, next Saturday, an old rivalry gets renewed as Rakeem Christmas and Syracuse bring the fight back to the Big East when they face Javon Pinkston and the 7th-ranked Villanova Wildcats. Coverage begins next Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. That foul goes on Bright, his second. Chapman inbounds, Zierden curling. Both teams now in the bonus. Under 7.5 to play. There's Krecklow, short corner. Irvin's got a nice second half. Here's Devin Brooks.
Boy, is that a big shot for a guy that's 6 of 29 from 3.
Meanwhile, Wright pushes it on the other end. He'll go to the line. Free throws really starting to count now. 5 for 12. That's the mark for St. Mary's here today. Meanwhile, Creighton just hasn't been to the line much at all. 5 for 6.
Creighton prides themselves on playing defense without fouling, attempting or making more free throws than their opponents attempt.
St. Mary's entered today one of the better free throw shooting teams in the West Coast Conference at about 73%, but it's been a struggle at the line today. That second make pushes it to a 2-point lead now. They're shooting just about 43% today from the line.
St. Mary's has showed a lot of toughness, though. You illustrated getting down early in the second half. First true road game of the season in front of 17,000.
Not an easy first road game.
No.
On the 3, the foul. And Jordan will shoot 3 times from the stripe.
Well, Greg McDermott has a great knack of riding the hot hand. Isaiah Zierden's got a couple of shots to go down, run a set play for him with some baseline screens. And Zierden also does a great job. See how he kind of kicked his legs out? You take a look at it. Watch him kind of kick everything out to drop, like his right leg there. Reggie Miller used to do that all the time. When you see a guy closing out of control, kick your legs out, get to the free throw line, because, oh, by the way, he's a 90%er from the line.
Now we'll look for Spike Lee somewhere in the gym. The Reggie Miller nemesis.
Yeah.
It's the second as well.
Now, speaking of the NBA with Spike Lee and Isaiah Zierden's dad, Don, is an assistant coach for the Washington Wizards, so a coach's son. Kind of talking hoops over some dinner conversations in the Zierden household growing up.
3 huge free throws. Blue Jays lead it by 1. Just under 6.5 to play. Everybody on their feet now once again here in Omaha. Wright throws it away. Creighton ball.
That's a crowd turnover. That is a crowd turnover. As 17,000 started making a little bit of noise. Impacts. The first thing that goes when the crowd gets loud is decision making. And Aaron Bright, although he's played in a lot of big games, it's been a while for him.
Surgery last year on his shoulder. Red-shirted. Terry Carter, meanwhile, back on the floor for St. Mary's. Leads them with 19 points. Three ball, Devin Brooks. Waldo only 4 points. Can St. Mary's respond? No, the head fake, the 3. Another offensive rebound. Right for 3. Right when you think St. Mary's might be down and out, boy, they climb right back into it.
They got to finish a defensive possession with a defensive rebound.
Hanson to fade away. And a block there goes against the Blue Jays. That's on Chapman, his first.
And nothing will stunt momentum like a silly foul. That feels like a silly foul to me. Austin Chapman does a nice job of this, of beating guys to the spot and taking a charge, but you don't need it. The crowd's rolling. Just defend. Be solid.
Remember, both teams with the bonus at this point. Our bags the first. That's it to a 2-point lead.
What a huge offensive rebound kick-out 3 from St. Mary's on the last possession.
(51-50).
Now you got 2 guys that are hot right now in Zierden and Brooks from beyond the arc. And Chapman's got 16 points. They love to put the shooter in the corner. Here comes Hanson with the ball screen with Zierden in the corner.
Brooks to the hole. The kick out. Brooks. 1 and 2 that turns out to be. Through traffic. 3-point lead for the Blue Jays. Timeout, Randy Bennett.
4 points, 1 of 9 from the floor, and the bigger thing is only 4 free throw attempts. But he has impacted the game. His presence has created opportunities for his teammates, and you better believe they're going to keep feeding the big man.
Waldo to the hole. And is able to rattle it in. Big 2 there.
That's a big boy with a little misdirection on the fake handoff and dribbling it all the way to the basket. I like that Randy Bennett has faith in his stud to keep going to him, even though he hasn't scored a bunch.
Brooks somehow keeps that alive. 10 points in the second half for Devin Brooks. 10 to shoot, under 4 to play. Chapman rising for 3. Waldo snags it. And the Gales a chance to take the lead. Bright transition 3, and they get it.
Just
Chapman pushing it. St. Mary's by 2. This one will go down to the wire. Into the corner. 3-ball. Hegner!
What a play from Brooks. Roaming the baseline. Collapsing the defense. Wasn't sure how much he was going to play, Aaron. That hit looks all right now.
Right, the chin fake. The kick out. Pinot. He wants 3. Brooks fouled. Come down to, well, seemingly the last possession.
It's about being comfortable in these moments, and Creighton has been in more of these moments this year than St. Mary's has, and they're at home. You better believe the final 3 minutes, it's all about Brad Waldo. 22 points a game. He's only got 6, but it's going to go through him.
It has not gone through him for the better part of this game. Waldo might take it on his own instead of kick out. Under 10 to shoot. Narr looking for the feed instead of teardrop, and he has the touch. St. Mary's climbs on top by a point.
But again, the hedge man can't stay with Narr too long because you got to get back to Waldo. And Narr with the nice little teardrop.
Brooks forced out of position. Here's a 3. Hegner can't get it to drop. Brooks the rebound. The fadeaway. And he almost gets it to fall through, but he'll shoot 2. Contact, leaning back. Waldo's 3rd foul.
Well, when you look offensively for Creighton, Devin Brooks, although he's a point guard, one of the better offensive rebounders for this Blue Jay basketball team. And he does a good job of getting in there, snatching them down, stealing extra possessions.
Ties it up. Chance to give Creighton the lead with 2:05 left.
And he's been the difference in this second half. Never know where it's going to come from if you're Greg McDermott, and that's a good and a bad thing because it's tough to game plan. Remember, we talked to Randy Bennett before the game. Who are you concerned with? What are you worried about? And he kind of didn't have an answer. He said, well, there's not really a stud, but they're all kind of good. And Devin Brooks is doing that right now. Listen to this crowd.
Dingman on the floor now. Brooks the breather. Under 2 minutes to play. And a whistle away from the ball. That goes on Artino.
You got to give credit where credit's due with Artino and Grossell and Hansen. They have really done a nice job in collectively guarding Brad Waldo with an energy, effort. Now a little offense-defense sub. Now Devin Brooks will check back in. Dingman will check out.
Back to 58-58. We have seen more lead changes than we can keep up with in the second half. And when they need him the most, Waldo gets both free throws.
So good to have a big guy that not only a good passer, he's a good free throw shooter as well. Was 10 for 10 in their last game against Boise State. It's been Austin Chapman and Devin Brooks in ball screen situations, getting into the paint and creating opportunities.
And Randy Bennett has brought in Trevin Duffy to man up Brooks now. These final under 2 minutes to play. St. Mary's by 1. Zierden wants 3.
Maker, so to speak. And
under 90 seconds, Creighton by a pair. Right off the wing. Norris thought about it. Trying to free up right. Teardrop, and he finds the glass, and we're tied once again. Chapman brings it across under a minute to play. All to even at 61.
Zierden.
Nara got there too quickly.
Got the mismatch. Zierden on Waldo, but you also got Nar and Artino as a potential mismatch as well, but it looks like Brooks wants to attack.
Under 10 to shoot. Brooks circles out. Finds a seam. The kick out of the corner. Chapman off balance 3. Glass underneath. Loose ball. And with 20 seconds left, St. Mary's can set it up for the last possession, tied at 61.
And I like that Randy Bennett's not calling a timeout. Aaron Bright's going to get busy.
On a hands on top of heads. And the crowd here at CenturyLink Center. 4 seconds. Aaron Bright to win it. And we're going to overtime.
It's logged a lot of minutes. But you could also look at the glass half full and say they're comfortable in an overtime setting. So here we go.
First overtime game of the year for St. Mary's. High speed, a foul, and
there, a bit of a mistake, creep off of Waldo, and there goes the roll man, and now he's at the free throw line.
And if you'd have told Randy Bennett that
Brad Waldo wouldn't have been in double figures in regulation, he'd have said that they had no chance.
He's now a point shy of a double-double, 9 points, 10 boards. Averages a double-double on the season, but the point total about twice, if not more than that, what it's been today. Creighton's first possession in overtime. Bearden almost took it. Brooks driving. And he's called for a travel, looking for Zierden in the corner.
I played for Dana Altman right here at Creighton. And one of his favorite sayings was simple plays. The simple play is just sprayed out to Austin Chapman. Look at it right there. That's right in front of you. You got a good three-point shooter towing the arc. Got a little too fancy, led to a turnover. You make the simple one.
Especially in overtime. St. Mary's by 1. Duffy on the floor still. We saw him the final few moments of regulation. Duffy left-handed 3. Big board underneath. Hanson. Pushing it. Brooks. He wants 3. Almost it over the back there. No foul on Hegner. Waldo transition stripped. But on the baseline, out of bounds. Brooks touched it. It stayed with St. Mary's. What hustle.
Good effort both ways. As Waldo's sprinting, and so is Devin Brooks. Great hands. That's just good basketball all the way around. Now, in the last possession, it looked like Creighton was in a triangle and 2. Trying to dare Duffy to make some shots. Keep an eye on that.
Interesting that Duffy, who hasn't had much playing time at all, is on the floor here in overtime. Of course, without Kerry Carter.
Looks like it's triangle and 2 here.
cross court. Duffy gets it, strips, finds it. Jump ball, possession arrow. Bennett still not pleased. Under 3.5 to play in overtime. Creighton a chance to take the lead.
Working hard to try and get Zierden freed up along the baseline.
Hegner buries the three. That's his third. Timeout, Randy Bennett.
And Creighton's been varying up their defense in the overtime. Some triangle and two to keep St. Mary's off balance. Now looks like straight up man-to-man.
St. Mary's trying to tie or take the lead in three. Easy two underneath. And 4 apiece.
Great execution out of a timeout from Randy Bennett.
Under 2.5 minutes to play. Brooks almost gets it stripped, stays alive. In with the trees, loose ball.
Great
and it somehow finds its way out to Chapman. But a timeout called
site field. And this is anything but neutral. Blue Jay fans have really taken a liking to the Creighton Blue Jays.
Brooks up top, 5 to shoot. Chapman, 3 to shoot. Into the lane. Alley-oop, and will go in. Hansen was there to try to slam it through. Jump ball gives it to the Gales. What a look that was.
Boy, what poise and patience from Chapman to let the clock wind all the way down, and almost an incredible alley-oop dunk. Didn't get it to go down. Man.
That stops the clock at 2 minutes. 2 minutes tied at 64.
Brad Waldo, keep an eye on him.
He pops high. Harbinson on the wing. Oh, nice feed. Pinot once again right under the hoop, off the glass, and St. Mary's by 2.
That's Aussie to Aussie. Pinot from Australia, Nar as well. Beautiful cut.
Under 90 seconds. Brooks, floater. No. Controlled by Pinot, getting it done on both ends. St. Mary's a chance to add to the 2-point lead. Both teams double bonus. Big possession here for the Gales. Waldo far out of position. Given a little bit of clock. Under a minute to play. 10 to shoot. Bright. Maybe a dagger. He nails it. That's a 2. Gales by 4. Under 50 seconds. Chapman penetrating. Loose ball. Offensive foul. You can just kind of feel it slipping away at this point.
A lot of contact on the initial drive, but Chapman out of control because never really had the basketball towards the latter stages of that drive. And Hermanson was definitely set. Right call for the charge. Now Creighton's going to have to slap some full court pressure on St. Mary's. And this is not where Creighton's overly comfortable pressing in the full court.
Get it into Bright.
That's the foul.
Nar with numbers now. Pinot slows it down. And a foul.
I like that they at least offensively, and he has been tremendous. 21 points for the game.
Waldo 5 for 8 from the line tonight. 5-point lead. Desmond Simmons. We haven't seen much of him lately. Simmons takes a spot of Pinot. Buries it to make it a 6-point St. Mary's lead. Just under 33 seconds.
We got an eternity left. This doesn't have to be a 3. You want to extend the game. Watch Zierden on a pen back here.
Zierden. 3. Loose ball. Chapman. No over and back. Only 15 seconds now. Chapman's got to put a 3 up. Oh, he drills it. Hermanson to inbounds. To Bright. And Bright just tucks it like a running back. You can see a solid free throw shooter, to say the least, on the season. He's 2 for 4 today. Big miss.
Well, and now, on a missed free throw potentially here, brings in the question for St. Mary's is, do you foul up 3? Now, 10 seconds is usually a little bit too much time on the clock to foul right away. You usually think about under about 6 seconds is when you start fouling when you're up 3. But if Bright knocks down the free throw here, it's a moot point.
Trying to make it a 2-possession game. And he does. 71-67. Blue Jays have to push it. And will stay with Creighton.
So earlier in a similar situation, they ran that little loop elevator screen to get Zierden the shot, and he knocked it down. Similar spot. See if they come back with it or if there's some sort of counter that Greg McDermott has. This is where it's difficult as a coach. You've got to have a lot of plays in your Rolodex, given these situations, to manufacture shots.
Bigman to inbounds. Hegner on the floor now, 2. Brooks on the bench. Down low, Artino. Backdoor feed. Back to Artino. 3 seconds left. And that will whistle. There's a whistle.